Give me all the things. I don't have enough. Hey beautiful souls, today we're going to be talking about the root chakra. Welcome, it's always a blessing to connect with you. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new to this channel, welcome to the tribe. I'm Dani and I help awaken the healer within you. So beautiful souls, first off, what is the root chakra? I'm going to use this little paper here to show you. So our root chakra is the base of the soul. It is the base of our energetic body. It is our roots. So right here, this little red energy dot there that sits at the base of your spine, this is known as the root chakra. So the root chakra is associated most commonly in the spiritual world or the healing world with the term grounding. If you hear people say, I'm not grounded, then they're essentially talking about there being an imbalance within the root chakra. Maybe the blockage is because it's really underactive, it's completely closed off. Maybe the blockage is that it's super overactive because we're living in it too much, and then there's a blockage somewhere else in the energy system. So when we are grounded, we have roots. You've got to visualize us as like a tree. So when we are really grounded, we have roots. We are connected into the earth. And these roots are going to help us navigate any storms that are thrown our way in life. So when we are grounded, we know that we can weather the storm. We're going to make it through. We can stand tall and strong, and we may lose a few branches or leaves throughout that storm, but ultimately we're not going to just like knock over and our roots come up out of the ground. We're not going to fall down. So with that being said, mentally and emotionally, the root chakra has to deal with our stability, with our comfort, with our security in life. So if you've taken any type of psychology class, you've probably heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you're in the medical profession, you've probably heard of this as well. So our root chakra is kind of like the base layer of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And Maslow's hierarchy of needs deals really well with it kind of groups the lower soul together. So all three of these very physical, energetic wheelhouses that we hold within us pertain to Maslow's. If you haven't heard of Maslow's, do your own research, dive in, it will make sense. So, okay, on a mental and emotional level, this may mean fear. And a lot of just general fear and anxiety and stress lives within the root chakra. This is where we hold that. Now, when we are fearful or feel that our security is going to be threatened, maybe that security is financially, maybe that security is how you fit into the world, maybe that security is your house, your food, your survival mechanisms. So anytime we feel that our survival is threatened, essentially this is causing an imbalance or a blockage within the solar plexus, or within the root chakra, sorry. Now, the root chakra is associated with our tribe, with our family. So that being said, emotionally, any type of trauma you've had in the past with family or your tribe, maybe even friends, if they feel like family to you, any type of trauma that you've had or issue that you are having with your current family that you've made in adulthood, regardless of if that consists of friends or through marriage, then this is where we typically see blockages within the root chakra. Because our tribe, our family, is really a sense of security. It's a sense of how we belong to this world. They bring us stability and comfort, or are, essentially supposed to. So if we don't feel like we're getting what we want out of life through our family, if we don't feel that we've had comfort and that support that we've needed through the family or through the tribe, then we can present in an imbalance in the root chakra here as well. Now, since we're talking about the root chakra having to deal with our survival mechanisms, and that it is our connection into the earth, it is how we literally bring ourselves present on a physical plane. The root chakra is associated with our skeletal system. So yet again, view us as a tree, and you know that skeletal system is essentially our tree trunk. It is our roots. And so we can present with bone issues, bone pain, joint pain, fractures, things like that. And then it's also associated with our flight or fight response because it is our survival chakra. So when we present in flight or fight response, maybe it is because of that past trauma. Maybe it is because we don't feel like we're getting the support and the comfort. We're not having the money. We don't have the things, that are making us feel comforted and supported. And then general stress. So if you work in a really heavy stressed environment, then this is where the body navigates or sends signals to our adrenal system. And the adrenal system is what pumps out adrenaline and cortisol when we're in stress, when we feel threatened, when we feel like our survival is at stake. So this, presents in elevated blood pressure, elevated blood sugars, weight gain. We're not able to think straight and focus and concentrate. So essentially, if we live in chronic stress, if we have a chronic imbalance within the root chakra, then it affects other organs over time as well. There's a great video on that, on positive thinking and how it affects the body. So you can go learn more about that there. Okay, so if we have an imbalance in the root chakra, then what does this look like? Well, there's two spectrums to it. So we can have a full-blown blockage where that chakra is not activated at all. There's no energy, so it's not spinning. It's just stagnant and standing still. And then if we live in the chakra too much, if we're constantly concerned about this issue, or if this trauma is really affecting our coping mechanism, then if we're always living in the fight or flight response, then this chakra can be really overactive and really prevalent and really wide. And this causes an imbalance in other chakras because it's absorbing too much of our flow, too much of our energy. So when it's underactive, when it's not open at all due to a blockage, then we tend to be people that do not set good boundaries with ourselves. We just kind of always overextend ourselves, and this may be because we didn't get the support that we had, or we've learned from family that, helping is how you're a good person and how people like you, things like that. You're also not going to be able to focus very well. You're going to be filled with anxiety and fear. You're worried about everything that's happening. You're going to be worried about what happens if the car breaks down. You just present with all these what ifs all the time. Your mind's just filled with what ifs and is terrified. The anxiety, your mind's just racing. So think about when you're really anxious, you're not able to just focus on whatever the task at hand is. You're not able to just lay and be still. Your mind's really all over the place. Now this can also present in being really underweight, because if we're not receiving the comfort and support, our survival mechanisms such as food, then maybe we'll present as being really underweight. Now, if we're living with an overactive chakra, which tends to be more of the case, then we're going to see such things as hoarding, whether it not be physical items, animals, overindulging in food, and still we're going to have that fear and that anxiety, but you're going to see more of this greedy aspect, this consumerism aspect of ourselves, because for whatever reason in our family network, whatever that is to you, our needs are not being met. So whether or not that was in the past or present, if our needs are not being met, if we're not feeling comfortable and secure, then we tend to, what do? When you're stressed out, when it's not going well at work, what do? You go shopping, right? So that's when you're going to the grocery store and you're coming home with all the different foods, and you get home and you're like, I don't know why I bought all this. Or you go on a shopping spree and you come home with a whole new wardrobe. You find yourself just kind of like maybe emotionally eating and stuff in the face, and then there's always this imbalance of, then we guilt ourselves and say we ate too much, we shouldn't have done that. So when it's really overactive, consumerism begins to consume our life, if that makes sense. Now, what can we do about this? So how can we begin to balance our chakras? First off, always awareness. That's why I'm here, is to bring you awareness. That is where the empowerment lies. But secondly, now it's up to you. So the root chakra has a color associated with it. It is red. And we can use color therapy as long as we're mindful about associating it with the root chakra. So if you feel like it's overactive or imbalanced at all, wear more red. Red is a power color. This is why they tell you when you go into presentations, for job interviews, when you're going to be anxious and things like that, to wear red, because it is a power color. Now, it's the power color because it's going to bring you that stability that you need. It hits that root chakra. Now, you can do this, and using the color red is going to help balance it out. But if you have a really overactive root chakra and you wear red and you just don't feel like it's helping at all, or maybe you realize you're wearing too much red. Do you wear red all the time and you associate with the symptoms of having the overactive chakra, such as consumerism, then what you can do is wear the corresponding colors. So the heart chakra, the green here, is what divides the physical world into the upper world, the upper part of the soul, the upper part of ourselves. So you can wear blues, purples, indigos, any of this range here. So when you start wearing those colors, it's going to balance that out. Really fun, easy way to balance this, right? So a second way is, now that you're aware of the issue, is that if you are heavily, in that greed phase, in that consuming phase to try to meet your needs, understand that this is not a physical issue, and that essentially what we're doing is filling a void. So we need to come to the underlying issue of what is causing the ungroundedness. What in your life is threatening your stability? What in your life is not letting you feel comfortable and secure? And, again, healing is like peeling back an onion. So there's going to be multiple layers until we get to the core. But you can do talk therapy this way, and yet again, energy work, Reiki. Reiki is amazing at this. This is why I promote it. Additionally, you can make the choice to stop the consumerism. So, and I love this aspect, because people that are going through a healing process kind of begin here and don't even realize that they're going through this healing process. But you can begin the great purge. And that just means being aware of where you're spending your money. If you feel anxious and you're going to the grocery store, or you're going to find yourself wanting to go to the mall, or you're hopping online to order, don't do it. Just say, you know what, I'm not going to buy anymore. And then you can kind of start going through your house and put a little box in each room. And as you walk through each room each day, when there's something, you realize you don't want to use, put it in the box. And then at the end of the week, take it to a donation place. Get rid of it. So you can physically start cleaning out your house, physically start cleaning out your life, and this is going to begin to bring a balance back to that chakra. Now, since we're also talking about grounding and the importantness for us to feel safe and secure, and that grounding core that the root chakra brings. When we do presentations, when we're trying to manifest things into our life, when we are going through some type of emotional storm throughout life, then it's really important to utilize this root chakra for what it is, which is connecting us to the earth, connecting us into our body, not leaving us in our head floating up in the clouds. Bring it into the now. So you can do what's called a grounding exercise, a grounding cord exercise. And I have a meditation for that out here on the channel as well, so you can check that out. But since this is the connecting point into the earth, since this is really where we begin our physical self, this is a really power point for us as to coming into our own power. So you'll notice as we talk about the root chakra, it's essentially going to be dynamics of giving away our power. We're giving away our power to material things, thinking that that's going to help make us feel better. We're giving away our power to what ifs and worries, constantly consumed in that. We're giving away our power if we don't have boundaries established, essentially because we're giving ourselves away too much. We're spreading ourselves too thin. So as we've talked about the root chakra being associated with the power color, with grounding and not weathering through the storm, essentially this is really the first power center of you, and I want you to know that and understand that. So any issue that may arise, any blockage that we do have in this first powerhouse, first chakra, really has to do with how in the community and how in society, how with our tribe, we give our power away. And when we're able to ground, we're really able to stand in our power. Now, beautiful souls, I hope this helped you understand the root chakra a little more. It's not black and white. When we talk about energy, we're talking about a very gray area here, but these are very good concepts to grasp, to understand the root chakra. And now when you're fearing something, you can say, what is this threatening me? Why is this threatening me? Why am I fearful of it? You're aware that when you go to buy things now, that maybe, hey, I'm just kind of filling up a void here, and this isn't really going to make me happy, and it kind of triggers you to think about what emotional, mental state is going on right now. And then, like we said, the root chakra helps us weather the storm. So let me know if this information helped you, if you liked it, what are your thoughts about it. I'd appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe if you want to hear more from me. I post videos every single day to help empower you, to heal what ails you, and to awaken that healer within you. As always, beautiful souls, remember you are not in this alone. Never you alone. We're in this together. And until next time, there's nothing but love and light. Nothing but love and light.